let's talk Vietnam.
Let's do it.
Okay,
Let's
where
do
do you
it.
want to start?
Most people fly into either Hanoi or Da Nang or Ho Chi Minh or
Okay.
Saigon, as some Westerners know it. You can fly in any three of those cities. It kind of depends how you want to do this, and usually that will depend on how much time you have for Vietnam. So there's like the classic tour for Vietnam that is from like the middle of the country all the way up,
Mm,
and that one takes 11 days. For people who have just 3 more days, we add Ho Chi Minh, Saigon, that place, and
hmm.
some day trips from there. So we strongly recommend they do that.
Yeah.
But then every now and then people just say, man, we want to do it, but we just don't have those extra 3 days. And that's why we leave that sense of flexibility. Not everybody has 14 days. Most people will have 10 or 11. And that's why we leave it like classic,
Mm.
basically.
And when I did it, I wanted to go to the beach. So from Da Nang, I could go to the Four Seasons, Hoi An, and did a beach vacation for a few days. But we did not know it actually gets cold there. So it was cold while we were there, and we couldn't go to the beach. But it's good to know because it was really, really hot on the Mekong, which is where we came from. So the weather is variable depending on what part of the country you are in.
Um, what about, did you go to when they did the Vietnam War? And it's kind of a heavy thing, but this attraction
Yeah.
itself is very, did you go to the site actually where they had all the traps and all that?
Yeah, the one where it's a national park now, and you can see where they dug their hideaways. Is that what you mean? Or are you thinking
Exactly.
of something else? Yeah, that one, that was crazy. I think I go back and forth about whether people who were in the Vietnam War will appreciate Vietnam now, or if it would be a very difficult place for them to go. It could be very triggering, but I've talked to many vets since I was there, and they actually really like going now. They love the people. They like understanding why they were there, although nobody really understands why they were there. But it's a very difficult thing to see because you know that where prisoners were. It's and they have it as a national park now, which is really strange. They're like kayaking through this river where they used to have rifles and trudge around. Hi, Natalie. So anyway, yeah. Why don't we go back to what you do once you get into any of the airports? I think I only did Da Nang because I came into Cambodia and then I came up. So I don't really know much about the other two airports.
So when you fly first into Ho Chi Minh, right? That
Hmm.
one that you're talking about, it's a day trip from Ho Chi Minh. Um, I personally recommend you start there. You start in Ho Chi Minh, you end in Hanoi, right?
Mm, okay.
So Ho Chi Minh does not have as many major attractions to see as Hanoi does. But in terms of a city just buzzing with energy
Oh
and
my gosh.
vibrancy, Ho Chi Minh, it is like on steroids. I mean, it is just, I can't describe this place. Like, first of all, I mean, they'll drive on the sidewalk. However they can get through, they're going to get through. And there's no end. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday, it doesn't matter what day or night. It's just constant movement. Um, and that in itself is an attraction. It's just like watching electricity pass by you
It
nonstop.
is. Yeah, I
And
did a short video of just trying to cross a street because it's like thousands of scooters all going together, and you're American, you think, oh, I'll wait until it tells me to go, and there's no go. You just walk out and they just go around you like snakes, like and we didn't know what to do, and this guy, we're on the corner, and this guy yells from his scooter, just cross. And we're like, okay, okay. So, but it's like the scariest thing for an American to just walk into traffic when it's thousands of people. But they know how to do it there. I don't know if they have accidents. Do they have accidents there?
Well, one of my closest friends, he wanted to rent a bike,
Uh,
and I said, hell no. It's like, I mean, I know we're the same age and we're equal. I said, but no, this one, there's no. Dad says no. Um,
no.
so
Yeah,
that's
I
kind of,
would not drive there. Do not drive there. No.
yeah.
I wouldn't even walk there.
So I've kind of learned the tricks how nobody gets in an accident. They just don't
Mm,
use the brake. That's
I
it.
know,
So
right. They just go around everything. Um,
as long
but
as you don't use the brake, you're good. Um, so Ho Chi Minh, it's also fun in the nighttime.
mm,
It's got these rooftop bars, and it's got these I don't know if you
mm,
want to call it bar clown. What do you want to call them? But I'm not really the type of person who just wants to go into these clubs and just hear loud music and drink it. But they've
mhm,
got these really nice restaurants, outdoor restaurants.
mm.
Everybody's dressed so fancy. You go over there, and they've got like these like little fire show things with like flowers, and everybody is like on tables dancing, and there's like
Wow.
food below them. And I mean, that in itself is like an attraction. You know, it's just yeah, the fire and balloons and food and drink and dressing nice and just like yeah, you know, you're not gonna see that at Cheesecake Factory. I know that much.
Yeah, and the service is really good there as well. Like I was at the Four Seasons. There are really fabulous hotels that and resorts all over the country. It is, one of the more poor countries, so it's kind of like, I don't know what the word is when you're in the wealthy places and there's so much poverty. But the service is fabulous, and they cater to the tourists. We were actually the first people allowed there after COVID, so there were not very many tourists there, and they were so grateful to have us, because they really need the income from tourism. So it was very moving. I think the people there were just so happy to have us there.
You want to, I'm sure you've heard before that people were like, well, how do they feel about Americans? You know, are they nice to us? Are
Yeah,
they this? That? No, they're totally chill. They just they're happy
yeah,
to have us over there. They don't seem to have any like resentment toward
anger.
it. No, no, it's just like
No.
you
Yeah,
know,
I don't think they blame Americans, but they don't call it the Vietnam War. They think it is the war that these two superpowers had on their land. So they felt used, of course. At least the people that I spoke to, that's the way they thought about it.
mhm.
So it's such an odd country the way it was. So I went from one side to the other, and it's definitely more pro communist. I guess, well, not communist. I don't even know what they are. There's, I still don't understand. They've explained it to me and their government, and I still don't get it. So there's a little less support on one side and more support on the other. A lot of them still call it Saigon, even though they're trying to call it Ho Chi Minh. So there are a lot of people who still are stuck on the old way of thinking, and but they don't blame Americans. I felt no hatred or disdain towards us at all. And people were just really nice and welcoming. They just wanted us to understand how hard it was on them, and and to have empathy for what we did. And I think most Americans do.
I think they do. They really do. Unfortunately, they've been able to move past that and grow
Hmm.
as a country. You know, it's called a communist country. I've been a communist countries. I mean, I've been to Cuba, for example. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel anything like that whatsoever. I mean,
No.
in a lot of ways, it seems like it's caught up and surpassed us. Um, and especially in the places that they have to go for restaurants and everything else. The food
Hmm.
is absolutely amazing. That vibe
Yeah.
there. And then the other thing about Ho Chi Minh, it's best used as a base from which to make a couple of day trips. So one of them is what we had just talked about right now, was the one where you see those tunnels from the Vietnam War,
Yeah.
um, and they will actually show. Like I actually went inside some of these holes where you like hide
Mm.
inside there, and I was like, my gosh! I mean, you're going inside these real things to see what it's like and all the weapons they had
Hmm.
and everything else. This thing will blow your mind with just like. Um, what was going on back there.
Yeah.
Um, the other day trip is to the Mekong Delta, and that one's really nice.
Hmm.
It's a Delta ride, and you see these people that are of other ethnicities. Because when we think Vietnamese people, we just think like there's one Vietnamese people, but there's not. There's different ethnic groups there, and there's even more when we go up in the north,
Mm.
like towards the border with China. They speak a completely different language. They look completely
Mm.
different. They're a whole different group up there. Um, but yeah, those are the two famous day trips to do from Ho Chi Minh. So in itself, it's buzzing, great restaurants and
Mm.
lounges and party.
Mm.
You got those two day trips that are very different from one another. When people have a little bit more time, like when you get families, they
Mhm.
also want to include Pha Qua.
Mm.
That is in the south, and that one shares the ocean with Thailand. It's that same bay.
Ah, okay.
Um, Vietnam, generally speaking, is not with all these clear waters like you find in
Right.
Thailand. It's
Hmm.
got a different water to it. The one exception to Vietnam is down there.
Hmm.
Um, and the Chinese have bought up things like crazy over there, and
Mm.
they have taken land. There was nothing there, and overnight, they built these entire cities.
Mm.
And when I was there last, um, it was not even like fully occupied yet. Like they just built, like it was brand new. Like people
Mm.
didn't even live there yet. So imagine being in a completely built from nothing city
Mm.
with nobody there yet. It is
That's
just,
crazy.
yeah,
And
it felt,
those are the islands that have the really good diving. Is that where you're talking about, or not on the islands?
it is on the island itself, the
Mm.
Fuqua Island. It's one island right
Ah,
there.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really wanted to go there, but I couldn't get there.
That's okay. So it's got the cable car ride. That's a lot of fun.
Mm.
It's got a lot of amusement parks. So if you want to kind of take the kids and that kind of thing, it's more for that. So Clearwater
Mm.
amusement parks, cable car rides, and then the Chinese now are building cities
Mm.
from
That's
scratch.
crazy.
And they've also built these very nice, um, like what do you call them? In the night times, these open markets,
Oh,
basically.
right. The markets are amazing in Vietnam. That's
Yeah.
and they have the lanterns lit up. It's beautiful. And then on the river, they have the boats that are lit up as well as they go by. And there's floating markets. Do you go to the floating markets on the Mekong?
hmm Well,
Yeah.
that's that day trip from Ho Chi Minh.
Mm. Right, right, right.
That's what that one is right there. Yeah. So that's why we just encourage people to find a little bit more time so they can at least do that southern part.
Yeah.
Um, Not something you want to miss. But after that, they take a quick flight to Da Nang, which is right in the middle of the city, and it's got that like cool dragon bridge,
Yes,
and,
I love it.
and that's kind of like that's like what people the first thing they think of over there.
Mhm.
And right where that bridge is, they've got these beautiful boats, and there's a night market walking distance right from there. Um, and there's this really nice lounges and clubs and stuff right next to that bridge, um, and next to those boats and stuff. So
I'm trying to remember. I think the dragon like blows smoke once a day or something. It does something, and I missed it. But it's once a day. You're supposed to go. I don't remember what it does. It blows
in the
fire or
night,
something.
it's in the night. It's
Yeah.
in the night when it's illuminated, and then it does it down there. Yeah, it's an evening experience. Um, and then once you're in Da Nang, um, there's a couple of things that you do. One, you go to Marple Mountains. It's just these rock formations that are really cool to see.
Mhm.
Nearby, there's this another like outdoor market that's really cool to see. You'll see these like traditional homes and whatnot. Um,
Hope
and then,
so.
hmm?
Sorry. I was just talking to Joey. Joey said that he's going to go to Vietnam with us someday.
uh, and then on that same day, so half of it is to check out those like limestone hills and all that. The second half of the day is you go to a place called Hoi An. Hoi
That's where I
An,
was.
yeah, every Westerner loves that place.
Hmm.
That is like if there's just one place in Vietnam to hang out, that
Hmm.
it's that one right there. And in the nighttime, it's especially appealing.
So it's like a historic market kind of place. And you can go there and get a fully customized, tailored suit made for you. right there in the market while you wait. I mean, it's a very interesting place.
I agree with you, and I see nothing but smiling faces over there.
Hmm.
And they got bands. They've got just the whole way it's lit up over there. It's just the second you get there, you're
Hmm.
just like, wow, where am I? You feel that energy, and the fact that they have the lanterns like you're describing, it also kind of adds to it.
Yeah.
Everybody there is in just such a good mood. I really respect how they preserve their culture and their
Yes.
heritage over there. So there's some places that they just kind of rip everything up and just put these modern buildings and just ruin everything. That
Hmm.
was one place where they just said, no, this is going to stay authentic.
Yeah.
And they really preserved the heritage over there, and did a wonderful job with it. So
Yeah.
um, people who just
Mm.
want some extra time to hang out and do nothing, if there's one place to do that, that's it right there.
And
Totally.
there is our food stalls, like food truck kind of things where you can buy street food. Street food there is a little different from street food in America, but they have these amazing sandwiches. Of course, gosh, how do you say it? The banh mi
Mhm.
sandwiches.
The sandwich, yeah.
And there's one place in Hoi An that was like on Divers Drive-ins or one of the Food Network shows as like one of the best. Oh, not Food Network. I can't remember what it was, but one of the best places in the world to get this sandwich. But I didn't get one, so I can't say if it is really good. But it looks delicious.
I think you can't really go wrong with the food over there. And what
Mm.
you said is one of the more popular dishes, especially for Westerners. Um,
They love you, Charlie. Our listeners are praising you.
I don't know who loves me, but thank you. I love you too, who you are. Find me somebody to love, please. Um,
Maybe
so,
in Vietnam.
well, I got to be reading. Let me see what you're reading on. Uh, anyway, so Hanoi, the other one that we do from Da Nang, after the Hanoi, you spend the whole evening there. That is really
Mm.
the best time to be there in the evening. That's when everything really
Yeah,
lights up.
Hoi An. Yes.
Yeah, and Hoi An.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's
Uh,
okay.
the next day, before relocating by flight to Hanoi, we typically take people to this place called the Banang Hill Station. It's Banang Hills.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that
this
looks
was
kind
built,
of scary on a scooter. Do you go on a scooter?
that one. It's by cable car.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know what you're doing and how you did it, but yeah, yeah. You seem to have some fun that I'm not having, Laney. You got to bring it with you one of these times.
It's
Um,
okay. Yeah, it would be scary for you to go with me. We would be a terror, I think, together.
Um, so you get there by cable car, and it's got European type of architecture. It's something like a theme park. It's
Mm.
something like a French village. It's something like that. But I do think it's worth visiting, at least spending a few hours before you go and relocate by flight to Hanoi, the capital of the country.
And there's also the hand. Isn't that there?
Exactly, and that's
Yeah.
one of the famous landmarks. So
Right.
when people just look up Vietnam, there's certain scenes that you're going to think of. One of them is going to be of Hoi An, like we were just
Hmm.
talking about, in the
Hmm.
nighttime with all those lanterns.
Right.
Another one is going to be that hand.
Yeah.
And just so people know, it's not always good, clear weather over there. It often gets cold, so bring a jacket.
Yeah.
But that bridge with the hand is definitely a cool sight for sure.
And I wanted to go there so bad because, of course, it's so Instagrammable. But weather was not our friend when we were there, and we could not get there.
You couldn't do
So,
that one.
unfortunately, yeah.
Once you're back now in the capital,
Hmm.
after you've flown there from Da Nang, you want to see as much as the city you can. I mean, there are a lot of nice attractions there, and they got French influence.
Yes.
So you've got the opera house there, so it's a very French-looking opera house.
Mm.
And there's this nice lake with like a pagoda there, some really nice temples. You're going to find a cathedral over there, um, and you'll hear some stories of what happened thousands of years ago and that kind of thing. But I think
Mm.
just walking through these like little streets and alleyways with all the food stalls and all these little restaurants squeezed up next to each other, it's a certain vibe You know, I'll be honest, before I had gone to Hanoi for the first time, I wasn't crazy about it. You know, I even watched some videos and I read some stuff online, and I just said, man, I don't, I couldn't visualize it, you know. And this
Hmm.
one when I was I'm still young. Okay, I'm still here, but when I was even younger than now, you know, I kind of just took this perspective of I'm going to look online, and if the buildings and squares look pretty, I'll go there. And if I
Mm,
can't see the aesthetic value in something, then why do I want to go? You know, that was a more inexperienced, ignorant traveler
interesting.
who, you know, because, but
You've learned a lot in your years.
Mhm. Well, to be honest with you, Vietnam was kind of the country that changed my whole perspective on that because,
Mm,
um, you know, like
mm,
Hanoi, I mean, it's not as pretty as, let's say, Singapore or Hong Kong or Beijing or Tokyo, one of those. So I
mhm.
had a hard time, like, why is everybody just speaking so nicely about Hanoi and saying you got to go? You know, they're vouching for it.
Right.
And it was not until I went myself, and then I was like, oh man, okay, now I get it. It's not something that the photos and videos can capture.
Right.
Again, got that vibe, and it's got like all these. So through these little alleys and stuff, you've got all these restaurants, and their tables are so small. Okay, I'm 6 foot tall, and these tables, like it's not like you know what I'm talking about. Like you're squatting, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then if that's not challenging enough. Okay, they don't have occupancy laws over there. So like
Oh.
you'll be sitting down and then the lady, because usually it's a woman who's like controlling the restaurant over there. It's not the guy. I've seen that in every single place. And she'll be like, okay, she'll be like, okay, move, 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 move. Come on, move, go, go, go. You know what I mean? You know, and then like you're sitting down and then you kind of look to yourself like, who's this guy over here? I don't know who you are, buddy. Are you paying my dinner or what's going on here? Well, no, you know, the girl just told me to sit here next to you. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. And then everybody kind of just becomes friends like that and starts talking to each other, and you start recognizing faces,
Mm,
um, and then you know the nightlife over there has gotten really good. Years ago, it was much more tame, and then in the last 7 8 years, I mean, they really just said they wanted to compete with Thailand, so they hit back hard.
mm.
They really hit hard, and it's very fun. Once the sun sets, it's just nonstop music and everything
And
else.
we
So in the
used, I'm sorry, for transportation, we used the guys are pedaling and we're behind in the cart. I can't think what it's called.
yeah, yeah. You're not going to see as many of those now.
Tuk-tuks.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah, I know exactly what you taken. They're not as common as they were some years ago. You're going to find
Oh,
less.
okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Um, so we provide all the vehicles, the tour guides. They're all English-speaking licensed guides.
Mm,
And you make sure that you see all the highlights. That's kind of how we do it. The next day, after giving you that tour of Hanoi,
hmm.
you're taken up north. You're taken to a place called Hajan. You're going in that direction. So Hajan is starting to border China. Um,
Mm.
that's how that whole thing happens over there. And the mountain scenery I've seen there is probably the prettiest mountain scenery I've seen anywhere on this planet.
Wow.
That so as far as scenic drives, the three prettiest scenic drives, the fourth prettiest scenic drive is in Corsica,
Mm.
and then the other three are from Banff to Jasper in
Oh,
Canada.
I love that one too.
Okay, and there's the one in the Alps that are really
Of
nice,
course.
and all that. And then there's the one right here in Hajan, Vietnam.
Mm.
Um, between the three, it's hard for me to say which one's the best. I may have to say it's Vietnam. I think it may be the best
Wow.
scenic
I've
drive.
never been up there, so I can't say.
It is really a good one. So when you're up there,
Mm.
you're going to go to this village. It's called Dong Van, and there's this flowers field. And I love how this stuff's
Mm.
getting dotted around Asia now. So
Yeah.
people want these postcard perfect Instagram moments.
Right.
So they have these flower fields over there. And then you got just so many people going over there, and they've got all these nice designs and everything. So the landscape itself is beautiful, and then they make these flowers and everything over there.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and then there's this other place called Heaven's Gate.
Mm.
Um, and you purchase a nice coffee, like the egg coffee that you like, and you
Yes.
kind of overlook the valley over there.
Mm,
Um, so there's just a lot of beautiful lookout points when you're on this scenic drive. Um,
yeah.
and it's not only though for the drives when you get into this Hajan province. There's also places where they have like weaving and embroidery
Mm,
techniques. So that's when you now start going and seeing a completely different ethnic group. They
mm,
don't look the same. They don't dress the same. They
mm,
don't speak the same. They're a whole different people, with their own culture and own everything over there. So
mm,
um, it feels nice to be seeing like these different
mm.
cultures and traditions within one country that we know to be
Yeah,
Vietnam.
and I mean that's part of what you do in the Vietnam kind of tourism is it's more immersive into the cultures and talking to the people. They don't all speak English. Some just want to hug you. They're very loving people, and their banks are cows. So they talk about having the cow bank because a cow is so valuable. So as you get into these little villages, the people are they're just fabulous. I love them.
Well, Lainey, I also want to hug you, but I'm not Vietnamese. How do you explain that one?
I have no explanation for that at all.
You've been so
I
sweet to me all of these years. I want to
I
give you a
am
big
very
hug and thank you
huggable.
for all the business opportunities that you've sent my
Oh
way.
no, thank you. I thank you for providing these amazing tours. Like there is nobody that does what you do. So let me give you a little tout here. But so Charlie's tours, you can go any day of the year. You don't have to go in a specific day. Of course, we're going to recommend certain seasons to you, but you can go whenever you want to go. You have some time off. Any of his tours are great, and they're made so that they really just pack in as many highlights and great experiences as you can do in any region. So when you're looking for going to a place where you maybe want to have a little hand holding, you don't want to do it on your own, and it's very difficult to do some places on your own, like Vietnam. Then you want the comfort of knowing that there are people helping you along the way. So they're all trained by Charlie, but you may not be with the same group every day. So maybe on day one in Hanoi, you might be with a few people who are totally different than the people you're going to go to Da Nang with. But that's okay because that's how Charlie arranges these tours to make it so you can go any day of the year.
Uh,
And
It's
it's a
it's
great value. Sorry.
it's okay in all honesty for most customers that we've had, it's actually preferred. So you're on an 11-day tour, or maybe you've increased it to 14 days now because you want to do the South, like
Mm,
Ho Chi Minh and all that. Um, if you're with the same individuals for 11, 12, 13, 14 days, that could be a good thing. It could also start being a boring or bad thing, right? So
yeah.
it's like I've already heard your story the same time, five times over. Um, so it's nice to kind of have fresh new faces every day, new personalities, new everything. And the people that you're going to bond with, I mean, you keep their information, you keep in contact with them. Um, it just gives you more opportunities to meet more people and just keep things fresh and alive. So we do that intentionally.
And I also like to send solo travelers to Charlie's trips because solos then have that kind of camaraderie that they find among the group or change it up every day that they travel. So it gives you more excitement. I think it's easier. It's better when you meet more people.
Mm,
People who travel love to meet people. That's why we travel.
that's what we do, girl.
Hmm.
Um, so when you're still up in that area right there, markets, tribal people, gorgeous lookout points. It's funny. One of the lookout points that I was at in my most recent trip, sorry, 2 trips ago, that's my on my laptop. That is the photo I have right there when I opened
Mm,
my laptop. So from
yeah.
Vietnam.
I have
Um,
this. I have this. Talking about the flowers, I can't remember what's the name of the flower that floats. Um, uh, oh my gosh! I can't remember, but we were in front of a field. So it's like a river, but it was just filled with these floating flowers. And there was a water buffalo like right beside
Yeah.
it in a pasture, and then pastures all behind. I was like, I have the most perfect pictures. It is just amazing landscapes.
You might be talking about the buckwheat flowers fields. I think that might be it, but
I
I
can't.
could be wrong. I remember that
Charlie
now.
is great. Everybody loves you, Charlie. Nobody says Lainey is great. Come on, Joey, where are you?
I don't know who's saying. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I always look at it afterwards. But whoever it is, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So once you've gotten out now of the Hajan area,
Lotus. It is Lotus. Lotus flowers. Thank you. Thank you, Natalie.
oh, so now you've gotten out of there. We've taken you, and this part of Vietnam is private. So there's other parts that we do shared, but once we
Mm,
get you up north there, this one is typically private with private vehicles, private tour guides, private
mm,
everything. Um, and I remember just incidentally when I did that drive. Usually when I'm driving, I'll do some work on my phone and all this kind of stuff. I've done that drive twice, and both times I was like, I can't even like I can't work. Like I literally just for 7 hours, I just put my phone down and I just like said, like this is too beautiful to even look at my phone. Like you look at it for 1 second, you feel guilty because it's just so gorgeous what's there. So at the end of the day, you're taking to a place called Ba Bay National Park.
Sorry, I'm giving kisses to our viewers. Go ahead.
Um, yeah, so you're taking a Bob Bay National Park at the end of that day, and then you provided dinner at that hotel. Um, so the next day now, you've woken up, you're in the Bob Bay National Park, and you
Mm,
take a boat cruise around the lake, and you'll see like these water caves and these waterfalls.
mm,
You also go kayaking. You get your own little kayak and you go kayaking over there,
mm,
um, and you meet another tribe. This one, they're actually Thai people.
mm.
They're Thai people living in Vietnam. Um, so that's what I'm saying. You see, you can tell the little different faces, live different outfits,
Mm.
uh, all this kind of stuff. And then at the end of that day, we head back to Hanoi. We'll stop at this one cave that's really cool to check out. But otherwise, we get back to Hanoi at the end of that day.
Mm. That's cool.
So now, when we said about Vietnam, and there's like a few different like main scenes when you just like Google Vietnam.
Hmm.
One of them we talked about Hoi An, right? With the
Yeah,
at nighttime. The other one is the
the
hand.
hand. Right.
The third one is Halong Bay,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Halong Bay is just these just mountains standing
Mm,
out of the water,
mm.
right? And they're so tall, and the boats going around them. Yeah, that one is a very huge deal destination.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that when you're with other travelers, of course. You're on that boat tour and it's all day. It's
Mm,
with lunch included. Um, you do some swimming, you do kayaking or bamboo rafting.
mm,
You can choose between the two. And watching the sunset is also really nice, but that's only April through September
mm.
for watching the sunset. So
Why is that?
just because of the time of the sunset, the other one
Oh,
it's too late, and
mm,
it's a long drive away from Hanoi. So if they waited for the sunset,
mm.
they'd end up getting to like Hanoi at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night type of thing, and people wouldn't be happy with that. So
Right. Very interesting. Okay, so you don't do a whole lot on the Mekong, do you? Other than the Mekong Delta?
that's the most famous one, and we do that one.
It's just it's curious because I did the Mekong River cruise, but so you could combine it, of course. You could do a Mekong River cruise, see the river culture, and then also do a Charlie tour afterwards or before.
We typically do it before. So if
Mm.
you only have the 11 days flying to Da Nang, we basically help you find all the flights, so you don't have to really brainstorm
Yeah,
and figure it out for yourself, or you do it also, Lenny.
I do.
Uh,
Yes.
you do it. Um, but for those who say, yeah, we do have those 3 extra days, that's when we say, no, start instead in Ho Chi Minh, Saigon.
Mm.
And then from there, we make a day trip out to the Mekong Delta. That's how we do that
I
one.
see. Gotcha.
Mhm. So,
Okay.
so we talked about one of the day trips from Hanoi, the capital. The other day trip is um, this place. It's for me just as good as Halong Bay.
Mm.
You go and you're taken to this area. It's called Hoa Lu. It's got this like temple, and then nearby there, you're taken on this bike ride,
Mm.
and you go through all the countryside. It's really pretty. Just it's a very scenic bike ride, and then you go for lunch. Lunch is included that day. It's like a buffet style lunch,
Mm.
and then after that, we take you to this river, and you go on a paddle boat ride, and it's led by a local. You know, so you can see how diverse this day is. Is one hand
Right.
you've seen a temple, and now you're on a bike ride in a countryside, and then now you're having lunch, and now you're on a river, and now you're paddleboard riding. You see what I mean? So it's really changing up the day a lot with different activities with rice fields and caves,
Mm.
um, and that
And
kind of stuff.
and your tours are a little more active. So for somebody maybe who has a little bit of a mobility issue, it's a little more difficult to handle. But even Vietnam as a country is more difficult for people with mobility issues. There wasn't a whole lot of paved area. It's a little more difficult. I personally can't bike ride, so I don't know. Do you have e-bikes, or what do you do if you can't ride your bike?
We make special accommodations for that, 'cause we need notice in advance. That's why
Mm.
before you start the tour, we send you a list of questions, and we ask, like for example, do you have health problems and stuff like that. So that's usually
Mm.
when that kind of stuff comes up. So we know how to make special accommodations.
And with your tours too, one of the reasons I love booking with you is because you can decide, okay, this day doesn't fit with me. So instead of this day, I'm going to just stay at the hotel, or, have a rest day, or whatever you want to do. So there is some customization that we can do if you need to.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people just say, "Hey, I'm really tired," or you know what, this particular activity I want to just opt out of. So we do that for people all the time. Most people want to do it all, but yeah, sometimes people just say, "Hey, you know what, let's leave this one out." The end of that day,
Mhm.
you go to a place called the Lying Dragon Mountain. Uh,
Mm.
that is one of the prettiest viewpoints on this planet. It is
Wow.
truly one of the prettiest viewpoints on this in this entire world, and it's crazy. So, one thing I do discourage, and we actually forbid our customers from doing, there's like the main platform, but there's one place where there's like a statue, and people will go all
Mm.
the way up there to get an even higher viewpoint. And we just let you know, no, 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 no,
Mhm.
don't do it. I know it's tempting because you get like a better view because there's another side that you can see if you climb up that higher point. But
Mm.
we generally tell people not to do
Mm.
it. It's not particularly safe to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but you've done that most beautiful hike, what I think the most beautiful viewpoint in the world. You're back in Hanoi, um, and it's still not over. Okay, it's not over. We're not done with you, girl. Because what we do now is
You
we
have
take.
to hold on a second, Joey. For pictures and videos, go to our websites, go to Facebook, go to. We both have YouTubes of Vietnam, so yeah, look there for visuals after the show's over. It's hard for us to share while we're talking.
Mm.
Sorry,
At
go
the
ahead.
end, no, all good. At the end of that day, what we end up doing is we go to a popular coffee shop. Okay, and what we do there is just wait. And there's these two streets. It's small, and then there's the coffee shop, and all of a sudden you hear choo, choo. What the heck is this? And the train goes right between these two buildings. You say, how the heck is it going? And everybody is inside these coffee shops, and they're watching these trains go by. And you're just like, man, this thing is really cool. I mean, there's not a lot of places you can see something like that. You can see it in Thailand uh,
Mm.
also, but it's a sight to see the train come by as you're enjoying your coffee between these two tiny streets. Um,
As long as
yeah.
it's my Hanoi egg coffee, I am great.
um, and if you think that was, excuse me, not
Mm.
enough, if we haven't kept you busy enough on that day, after checking out the train go by, we take you into the area where there's nightlife, and then we show you where all the
Mm.
nightlife is over there. So, and then some people say, hey, no, I'm not into that sort of stuff. But most people, they're curious, even older. I want to see what it is. What's everybody doing? What's it like?
Mm.
And it's very close to the hotel that we use.
So we're
You
not talking about like a Thailand, strip kind of section, or like where you've got girls, girls. Or is that what we're talking about for
no, no,
nightlife?
no, no. It's not that.
Mm.
It's not that crazy where girls are up on,
Okay.
yeah, and shaking the booty and all that. No, no, no. Um, but no, I mean, you're going to see girls there, but just dress normal, basically.
Okay.
Um, and it's outdoor. That's what it is. So the whole thing's
Uh,
outdoor, and there's like a main like intersection of it. And it's all pedestrianized, and there's just bars, restaurants, everything. So it's
mm,
not just like hardcore club party. No, it's anything and everything you could ever possibly want, from restaurants to massage
mm,
places to clubs to place to play pool. I mean, everything. And it's walking distance from where we have almost all of our customers stay, which
mm,
is at the Apricot Hotel. Um, so, I mean, it's walking distance from your hotel. That's why you can imagine most of
right.
our customers, even older ones, say, "Yeah, I mean, I want to see it. It's right there," type of
And
thing.
of course, talking about massage, you can get some amazing massages, foot rituals done to just take care of your feet and wash them, and very inexpensive massages there.
Yeah, $12 1 hour, and this
Hmm.
was like an amazing massage. So,
Yeah, I agree. I think some of the best massages I've ever had in my life have been in Vietnam.
yeah, and I agree
Mm,
with you. I
mm.
agree with you. If you find anywhere here in the U.S. for $12, please let me know. Okay. Um, so, and then on the last day before
Mhm.
going home and back to reality, you're provided with a full day tour of Hanoi. You're taking the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum.
Mm,
Um, that is pretty cool. The way he's preserved over there.
mm,
I saw a very similar thing in Russia in Moscow.
mm,
Um, but yeah, that was like really an interesting thing to see. They've got like a
mm.
presidential palace. Um, they've got some pagodas and like a citadel, like a fortress type of thing.
Huh.
Um, and they've got the military history museum. That one, you actually see the aircrafts that were used in the war. And I
Mm,
mean, the way they did this museum is very impressive. I
mm,
mean, it is like the whole layout of it is really displayed very professionally. So
mm.
um, very cool stuff. And then you also see weapons and all that. And then we take you to this observation deck, so you can get a view of the city. And if that's not enough, if all that's not enough, at the end of the day, we go grocery shopping, and then we take you
Mm,
to a local's home, and then you're taught how to make Vietnamese food.
mm.
We'll cook food with the family, and then you have dinner with the family. And that's a very nice way to end your trip to Vietnam, because the following morning we take you back to the airport, you fly out.
So I have to talk about breakfasts at the hotels because breakfasts when you're in an Asian country like this are a little different from American breakfast, although usually the hotels will have an American section or an English section for English breakfast. But soup in the morning is not unusual to have some pho or ramen for your breakfast. There's all sorts, or dumplings, sushi, like all sorts of different specialties on the breakfast buffets that are delicious.
Understood. I agree with you. And the thing is the breakfast is like starting very early.
Mm.
So 5:30 in the morning, you'll go there. You already see a bunch of people there.
Ah.
Um, and they're cooking everything you could imagine. I mean, they've got the soups, and they've got, I can't, I've tried to try everything. You can't. It's just the
Mm-mm.
size of their breakfast buffets at these hotels it's just huge.
He does. Charlie is amazing. He puts every highlight you could possibly want into the tour for a great value. Do you want to talk about price, what this would cost?
Yeah, that one I have to go on my computer to look it up.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, let me give a little housekeeping since we're almost ending. Please go ahead and get my QR code scanned above, and you can enter to win our $10,000 gift sweepstakes. Gosh, I'm having issues tonight. And put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday in your comments on any of our streaming networks. You can do it anytime before or after the live stream and get $50 towards any Charlie the Traveler tour booked through Lainey and my team. So although Alex does sales, my other team members do not do sales yet. They're just my assistants. They are my assistants, my fabulous assistants. But if you want to buy a tour, ask me or Alex. And we are happy to work with Charlie or any of our supplier partners to get you exactly what you need. So, Charlie, do you have a price? We have 10 minutes.
Yes, per person with the 5-star hotels. Not everywhere has the 5-star hotels, right? So when we're taking up into the mountains and stuff, the 5 stars don't exist up there. But we still put you in the best hotels that are there. So, $27.31.
You see, that's amazing. Sorry, go ahead.
It is amazing. I gotta raise this price. That's what I think I gotta do.
That's okay. You keep it where it is. I can sell it better. And of course, as you customize, it might change a little. Maybe you're going to want a penthouse suite. Who knows? Maybe you want a few days of rest at the beach afterwards, or to go diving. Whatever you have in mind, we can help you with. So next week, we're in town, right? Are you in town?
Yeah, just a few other things real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
About Vietnam.
Okay.
People ask me the best time to go. I think November through April is the best time to go. Hanoi itself might be a little bit cold.
I was going to say that's the cold season in some of the areas.
In some. So it's a long country. So it is hard just to find one specific time. Like, hey, this is a perfect time for everything.
Right.
I still kind of like November through April because after that, if you start going June, July, August, like the South gets really hot.
That's true.
So for me, I think that's maybe April. If there's just 1 month and you can only, I'm going to say April, but I think just generally that time is the best way to do it. And again, from Hanoi, Hoi An, Da Nang, from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh and Da Nang, you're using very quick flights. These flights are only like an hour each. Right. Otherwise, we're getting you around all with private vehicles. That's how we're doing it. The country itself is relatively affordable. You get very good value.
Exactly.
And even the food, when you're going to like fancy restaurants over there, the prices are very affordable.
Yeah, we did all like Michelin star type dining through the whole trip, and it was fabulous, amazing, and very French inspired.
I want to travel with you one of these times, just to follow you around, because you end up
just to eat with me.
Yeah, I want to know where you ate in that French Polynesia. $500 dinner. I'm still thinking about that one. But
that's easy.
Something to tell you guys real quickly about the people in Vietnam. Most do not speak English. Right. And this is part of the reason why you're better off with the tour guide. A lot of the countries, you don't need us, but in a country like Vietnam, you need something. You need English speaking tour guides, and you need
unless you speak Vietnamese.
Well, okay, that'll work too, right?
And there's also visa requirements for Vietnam. So there are different things that we understand about travel to this region. It's not just cut and dry when you go to this area.
Something I'll tell you kind of funny before we go on to next week and all that.
Okay.
Something that you're going to notice, especially when it gets hot, because we just talked about the weather. The guys like having the bare midriff, like basically where, this part of the body. I don't know if I can see this on the screen here.
Yeah, you're kind of down.
Yeah, there we go. So,
there you go.
From here to here, they have a t-shirt. Okay. But from here down, they show their gut. And because they're hot and they don't want to burn their shoulders. But the
Uh,
whole body, the whole bottom part, like when you're in high school, you tell the girl, you can't be wearing that. You got to go back home and change your t-shirt. But in Vietnam, it's not the girls doing it; it's the guys doing it. Okay, and they got these little like beer bellies because they do like beer over there. And they got this little beer belly thing, and they're like walking around with that thing. After a while, you kind of get used to it, but that's one thing that you're probably going to notice there. The other one, and this is an art. I'm not a jealous man, but this is one thing that I became jealous of. It's hard for me to sleep if there's noise. It is hard. I'm going to wake up, right? So these guys have motorcycles. The motorcycles absolutely everywhere.
yeah.
I can't count how many times I've seen these guys park their motorcycle on the sidewalk, right? They will then lie down on the motorcycle and they are in a comatose stage, sleep. I mean, it's not even resting your eyes. It is straight up the best sleep you could ever ask for in your life. And I thought to myself, I'm in a pitch black room with no noise, and I'm still not sleeping as good as this guy who has that bare midriff thing with his butt out. You know what I mean? Why can't I be like him?